American Cinema to the 1960s. High Noon by Sergio Castaneda, Nathan Alvarez, Jason Espinosa, and Joseph Garcia. Starting off, we have genre. Western movies have many important iconographic elements that are seen in many films of this genre. The setting is very important because it is able to differentiate the Western genre from other genres. Example of iconography from Western movies include the sheriff, cowboys, and the desert. So as you can see on the right, we have four cowboys. Looks like they're part of the law. And then we have the desert setting. So usually in iconography, they have pistols, towns, railroad, and horses, other things like that. Moving on, we have another picture. This one is Will Kane, and he's again at the bottom. High Noon has plenty examples of common Western iconography that is important to the genre. In the film, we can see our protagonist, Will Kane, fight against some rotten crooks as a sheriff. The film also has a saloon where Kane tries to get some assistance in taking down Frank Miller, only to hear silence as his response. So you can see the picture at the bottom. He's asking people for help, and they just kind of look at him. Next, moving on, we have our star system history. The star system is the way Hollywood studios created and managed actors between the late 1920s and the early 1960s. Part of the star system was to create personas of the actor in which the studio molded and publicized. In short, they created a brand so they could benefit from it. For example, a producer may find a person who is beautiful and invest his or her training to become an actor. So as you can see here, there's pictures of these Hollywood actors from whenever this was 1920s, I believe, to the early 1960s. So we have the star system again. The film High Noon had major star power. The main actor, Gary Cooper, was a major studio commodity at the time. He often played a tough guy on the screen because of his 6'4" height and stern gaze. The studio capitalized his physical traits. The star system was at work for another actor in film, Grace Kelly. So you can see here, this is Gary Cooper and the actor for Grace Kelly, which is Amy. So in this picture, you can tell they had an introduction poster for the movie. It has all the stuff, information, the actors. There was a significant age difference between the actors Gary and Grace. Gary at the time was 51 and Grace was 23. Grace only had one major film under her belt, 14 Hours. After High Noon, she became a star and made over a dozen films. She was put in the film to promote her brand. Because she had little acting experience compared to Gary, he would be the one carrying the film. Later in life, her star persona moved into her private life, where she stopped acting in 1956 to become a star of a country when she was married into royalty. Here's a picture of royalty at the bottom left. And at the bottom right, these are the actors. You have Will Kane, the deputy, and then you have Amy and Helen Ramirez. She's also the antagonist throughout the film. Moving on, we have the production code. Production code during the 1930s to the late 60s. The Hays Code, or the Motion Picture Production Code, was created as a set of guidelines of self-censorship in order to make Hollywood pictures presentable and safe for the public. So the picture on the left, you have the certificate. Basically, it's the production code stamp. It says this picture approved by the Production Code Administration of Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America. And on the right, you have the hard print basically telling you all the different things of the production code, up to religion, dances, um, vulgarity, different principles, and the list goes on and on. As you can see, this was from August 11th, 1934. In the film High Noon, the film tends to follow some of the production codes as well as ignoring some of the protocols. High Noon follows the production code by acknowledging the good guy and the bad guys in the film, as well as making sure the good guy is the one who wins and the bad guys lose. So, in the first example, Frank Miller and his gang arrive in town. Basically, this is the Gary's trying to stop these guys from messing up everyone in town. Evil and good are never confused, and the evil is always recognized clearly as evil. So you can tell these guys are up to no good. In the next picture, Will Kane kills Frank Miller. No plot theme should definitely side with evil and against good. So basically, it's saying good is good and bad is bad. High Noon also had moments where the production code was disregarded. Arson must be subject to the same safeguards. So we're gonna go ahead play a clip here. It's a pretty long clip, but we narrowed it down to the middle. Let's see. So now she's just a damsel in distress in need of help. And this is references. And that will conclude our presentation. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day.